welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. Okay, I'm a little behind on my show, and I'm also a little behind on what I was supposed to do yesterday, and I have 2 hours to reset. Oh my god. So, I already did these yesterday, so it's not so bad. Last night I was supposed to get on my red mage and get some more shit done. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Yesterday was my grandson's birthday party. Not his birthday, but his birthday party. So happy birthday, Abel. He turned 1. You know, he won't know this, but maybe one day he'll look up Grandpa's old videos and he'll be like, "Oh, well, look, in this video, Grandpa said happy birthday." So, but yeah, so yesterday was his birthday party, and of course, you know, my grandson. It is my grandson. So, you know how it goes. Real life, overrides gaming, even if you do it professionally or not, whatever. If you got obligations, you know, stick to those obligations. Tell you what, I'll thank my wife, though. My wife is the one that's always like, "Honey," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." I don't know what I would do without her. She's a very patient woman with me at times. I'm very lucky. Yo, what's up, Irish? How you doing today? How you doing? Yeah, dude, I was like, well, I'm not going to get much. And then my other friend wanted me to go watch Endgame, but I couldn't because my other daughter was working late shift. So I had to get her during the time that Endgame would have been going on. And he's like, "Are you going to watch it opening weekend?" I'm like, "I don't know, dude. She's got prom. My daughter has prom tonight. So I have to take her to prom, drop her off and stuff." So I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, honestly. I'm like, oh my God. So they grow up so quick, I'll tell you that. But, yeah, nuts. Yeah, that was a nice, thing you sent me, Irish, about the City of Heroes. I hope they keep the server, and I really do hope that NCSoft, don't get me wrong, I have a very good relationship with NCSoft in the past. So even when it broke my heart that they decided to discontinue not just one game, but a couple of games, it really broke my heart in a lot of ways. In some ways, I understood. In other ways, you kind of are like, oh, that sucks. City of Heroes was the shocking one for me because they shut down like 3 other games prior to that. And when they shut down City of Heroes, that one was the shocker for me. It really was. It kind of threw me for a loop. Especially because the IP was being, people were offering to buy City of Heroes IP. So it was really shocking to me. But nevertheless, I was just like, and had I not had, I feel like the relationship with NCSoft that I had, as a tester, and other things, but I would have been like, no way. But NCSoft's been always a really good company to me as a player and as a person, and I understand like a lot of people's frustrations. Like I like certain people in the industry. I like certain people in the industry. I know sometimes their hands get tied. I understand the bureaucracy behind the scenes. And it sucks. It really sucks. I feel like players don't understand that. Like when they play a game, they just look at it from the development standpoint. But a lot of players don't understand that it's the suits that sometimes, steer the direction of development. And developers, once again, and I reintegrate this, are employees, right? So their creativity or the direction of which they had hoped to deliver to their players sometimes gets a little off track because of the influences and the pressure that they're under. And it's sad, but it is the way the business works. It's the cold hard reality. And that's why I feel like one of my favorite idols in the industry, and a man I look up to, like if somebody asks me like who do you like, what person do you admire, or what person do you like, there's not a lot of like people in the world I would like. You could put like Eminem in front of me, I wouldn't give a shit. Yeah, I was like, oh, yeah, congratulations, you did really well and stuff. I mean, I know that sounds whatever, but it's just like they're people. They're people, but we do get that, that kind of like. So, but for me, it's people in the industry, certain people in the industry. Matt Fearer is, or Firer, however you want to pronounce it, is one of those people for me. So to put his face and his words on one of my videos, it was the hardest thing I had to do because I have such admiration for the man and what he's done in the industry. And yeah, so I mean, but it's the truth. Oh, there's my daughter. She calling late. 1 second. Oh, this is bad. All right. It's always one thing after another. Oh, 30 minutes. What? I just paid attention to that. I'm like, what the hell? It says 30 minutes. Oh my gosh. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? Okay. 11 minutes. At least to me, that's doable. That's somewhat doable. 30 minutes for a fucking... Oh, no, hell no. I ain't got that. I'm going to flog Spectrum. They're getting flogged. Oh my god. Just took me out of my queue too. Oh, I'm gonna beat their heads in. Not really, but still. Sometimes it's just nice to say things that you actually never mean or have intention to do. I used to love punching and kicking my bags. You know, definitely therapeutic. I would recommend if anybody has anger issues, get a punching bag. Okay, that's my recommendation. There's my recommendation. If you have any type of issues in which you don't want to actually physically hurt anybody, but yet don't want to ruin your shit, but yet you want to punch and kick some stuff, get a punching bag, man. Just get a punching bag. And then just let it out. Verbally assault the bag if you have to. You know? Whatever you have to do. Get it all out. And then afterwards, you say, it's okay. It's okay. And it'll be a lot better. Might as well pick this up while I'm here. I know. All right. Oh my gosh. I have a lot of that. There we go. The color of her hair. Well, got a couple minutes. Let's see if we can get it done. So many little things I have to do. Actually, I have to. Did I get my Virage yet? I did. Okay, so I have to do that. That's my procure. That should go up here. Wait, nope, wrong. I need my mana shift. That's right there. Because I need to make a macro. Support. No. Okay. So. Alright. So. I'm running out of macro spaces. I can use the shared ones, though, too. Thank God. First one I'm going to do is Raise. No. A-I-S-E. Okay, Raise. Okay, now you can either drag it or just highlight it or whatever. Make sure it's in parentheses. And then action. And then swift cast. Make sure you always do the swift cast. And we're going to put ME. Then action. Raise. There's two ways we want to do this. We're going to go MO for mouse over. We're going to drop down, and then we're going to just do action, and then raise. This way we have a mouse over too. Okay, and that's done. All right, we're going to keep displacement where it's at, and then I'm going to just drag it, drop it. Now I can remove this from the bar, potentially, more than likely, but I'll put it up here for now. I definitely don't want, like, if I wanted to, I could honestly, like, put my Moulette on my red AoE to save up another spot, since it's a melee, since I have to be within a distance, which we can do that. We can convert a lot of things knowing that we have, like, assured distance for effect. So I'm going to go to red AoE. I'm going to put in body. I'm going to put flash. I'm going to put the control, but the difference of it is I'm just going to come here, right? And then I can drop my emollient. All right. Now what I want to do here is put this over, and I want to put this up. I'm going to move my AoE to the 8, which is, whatever. And now I can afford to make a shift macro, support macro. So I always put like support. Nope. Did I spell? That's why. It's got to be perfect. There we go. 1 second. All right, and now we're going to action. And this is kind of important as well. So I'm going to put mana, shift, and I want an MO since I'm on keyboard and mouse. If you're not on keyboard and mouse, don't worry about it. Then I'm going to put action, just mana shift. It just gives me a little bit more control if I'm cursing over. Okay. Now, what I also can do while I'm at this, I could take a look and put like a support ability on top of this. Like reduces a party member's magic vulnerability by 20%. So it adds another support ability. So for example, I'm going to put it above. This way, if I need to target over the tank, I can do that. Keeping in mind, I don't want to over extenuate this, but if I'm going to start throwing out like any type of effects, I can do it in sequence, so it doesn't like deviate from my DPS too much. All right. Then I'm going to put an MO. Then I'm going to do it again. All right. So now I have that, and then if I want to, I can put like an erase, single damage over time, effect from target. So it's a cleanse. So I can actually like put that along with a cleanse effect. So all right. So, God dang it, it went up to 20 minutes. I'm having a terrible rat. What's up? Watch your back. Oh, obviously, dude. I'm scared. Dude, you actually have no idea who I am. Because anybody would tell you, no. Hey, you know what, Nate? Did you know that? Some viewer said, they can hear you.
It's literally impossible to do that.
Yeah.
You should go through your deck tonight.
Well, what if I get like a telescope and like put it around my bag, kind of flip it up, like reverse, like I could do it with the camera, mirror.
Here.
Oh my god, dude!
Backup camera.
Backup camera. Oh, that's awesome, dude. That is amazing. Backup camera. Yes. Watch my back. Oh, it is a very nice back. I love my shoulder muscles. At least I used to. Yeah. Actually, you have a wider wingspan than I do, so maybe I'm jealous a little bit. Oh, God. Swear to God, never gets old. It never gets old. Okay, so we have our Verrays, and now we have our support ability. Also, I can like take a Vicure if I want to, macro it, and have it like I can hotkey it, which isn't a bad idea. But if I'm like on my controller, this situation would be a better setup, given the fact that I have 4 more buttons to play with, right? So I can even afford to macro my Vicure and my Erase, okay? So because my Erase is basically my cleanse. So I can throw like other effects a part of that. And God, I would hope actually somebody would succeed. One second. One second. All right. So, waiting for this fucking queue. I need in this building. I hate when I have to come to this district area. Aha. I have found me destination. Oh, that's right, I switched it. All right. Why is it this code queuing? Please fucking queue. All right. Did they mark something in red again? God dang it. Can we stop with like oh, thank God. Like I'm colorblind. Like I'm reminded quite frequently I'm colorblind. And have you ever noticed MMOs always highlight the maps with red spots? Yeah, it's nice to know that a colorblind person can see a red spot in this. Well, you might be able to, but
People are keeping pretty one of those.
yeah. There's certain games that you can change the color, which isn't bad for a person like me.
I was like, would you please tell me why your SMS verification would send it to an old number when
Which
that's
company
not
was it? Blizzard? Fuck
your
Blizzard.
SMS
Oh yeah, even though they yeah, it's still hosted. Yeah, server side. Was that still on the box or is that your PC version? Oh, got you.
I wish I'd done it on
Oh, really? Then they turned around and gave it for free. What'd you think about that? When they had that free weekend for that? Well, it didn't come with the game packs. It was the base game.
The base game, you can't even do anything.
Right. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah. I always brag about your system to my viewers. I'm like, my friend has this PC that's over $3,000, and he's running like the top end gear and or top end like configurations. You go on his fucking PC, and I have played it on your PC, on ESO, and the latency issues. I'm like, don't fucking tell me, motherfuckers. Yeah. Which looks amazing on your rig.
I had all my problems taken care of.
No.
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 And I have killer Ethernet.
Like you got it. You played Ark quite a bit on that. Yeah. Well, and Ark's got bugs too. I mean. You played on public and private on that, didn't you? Right. Because it's in your account management. Okay, good.
Is SMS verification code to your telephone number. XXX.
Your old number. Oh my god.
Why the fuck would I be updating the number? And then you send the verification code to update that number to my
Oh, number. Oh my god. It didn't give you an option for an email com?
It says it automatically boom says SMS.
What?
I like saying, could you please explain to me? I said I found a serious breach in your SMS security program.
Uh-huh.
I go to update my new number. I go to update my old number with my new number, and it sends an SMS.
Giving them basically access to my shit.
Yeah. All they'd have to figure out is my email, which they're
Oh my god. Spectrum. Spectrum! This is Spectrum. It's not our hardware. I do it. All my drivers are updated, and it's not the game. It's like I've been. It's like literally. It's not. It's a quick like fluctuation, huh? Yeah, I'm streaming. Yeah.
I don't have any issues at all.
I typically don't. It's always in the morning. There's a fluctuation within the node config, and
Go into. You need to open up the ports.
one second, dude. I've done that. It's only in the mornings. In the afternoon, it never does this.
I never had this issue.
I typically don't in the afternoon. It's always in the morning. First thing in the morning. It never happens.
You do know that if you're you connected to the Wi-Fi on your cell phone.
No. Well, everything's off right now. But I mean, like you're plugged in.
Still just sitting in your
Yeah, it's probably still does. Looky, oh my god. Oh yeah, I'm charging my phone, but what the fuck? Seriously. Dude, I did the packs. I checked the packs too. One thing. No, I'm hardlined. I'm hardlined. Alright. Hopefully no more further fucking problems. Fucking that works out nice, that moulette on here. Dude's like, we're going. We're gone. No, mommy. I don't even know what to do. This guy's flopping around like crazy, man. He's going fucking ballistic. Why do I have something on me? I'll mana shift him. Macro works as intended. Go, go, go. Good shit. Yeah, I do apologize about that. Ugh. Couple minor issues. Where's our other dude at? Comes my question. Where's our other DPS? Uh, yeah, that was fun. You're going to get it. Oh my god. Oh my god! Bullshit. Get it. Jeez, Mateesus. Wow. You know, all I can say. And while we're here, I'm going to be doing something. One second. You guys are definitely going to get to hear this one. Or- No.
Thank you for calling Spectrum. This is Sunny. We go may have a pleasure of speaking with.
1 second. Actually, put me on to your manager.
Alright, yes, I will do that, Gary. Stay on the line.
Thank
I will
you.
complete my documentation and I will transfer you, okay?
That would be
By the
great.
way, Gary, can I have a quick information? I will escalate this right away. Okay?
I appreciate
I'm on
that.
your side. Thank you. And by the way, Gary, just to make sure, what's your service address?
What?
Alright, hold on, and I will just complete my documentation, and I will contact our supervisor's department for you.
I would be great.
Alright, thank you.
This is real, ladies and gentlemen. If you ever want to know why I go on an outage, only in the mornings. It's only in the mornings. How do you DC and have an intermittent problem in a morning, and then later on in the afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, you end up you're not even at peak times, and you have variations in the mornings. It's because nobody's maintaining the node. God, I wish I had this person's job, ladies and gentlemen. God, hire me to go ahead and maintenance a server. Please, thank you.
Gary, just
Yeah,
give me just a minute.
that's fine.
Complete my documentation for you. Thank you.
You're fine. Like I said, you're just on a live stream.
Alright, I will do this quickly for you. I will contact our supervisor while I'm doing the notes here. Just hold on, okay?
That'd be great. That'd be great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright. Gary, just want to let you know that after this call, you will be receiving a written survey from Spectrum.
I don't want to do a survey because I would give really bad reviews. You don't want me to do a survey right now.
Alright. Yeah, because the survey will be all about me, not about
Yeah, right. And that's not fair to you. That is not fair to you. Because you're doing your job. This isn't your fault.
Thank you. So let me do my job. Okay?
Right,
I will
right.
transfer right now. I will talk to them. Hold on.
I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, it's amazing. It really is. It's like I never have problems in the afternoons. And typically I get pretty damn good internet connection and I'm pretty happy with the service. But I have asked multiple times for them to do this. And come on. Get through the dialogue. It's too long. Oh my god, I'm gonna miss a cue to the dialogue. Once you start this, you can't back. Oh my god. Stupid dialogue. Okay. Might as well try to knock out two birds with one stone. Okey-day. Wait for him to grab it. Is that all he's gonna grab? Okay. It's gonna be an interesting stream today. I've already DC'd, I don't know, 4 or 5 times for like less than a couple seconds. Hello. 1 second. So this call may be monitored for quality assurance. Go ahead, continue. Yeah, I've called multiple times. I'm sure you guys could see that on the record. I have asked, typically I don't have a problem with my, the ISP, but what I end up typically seeing in the mornings, during non-peak time. Now, you guys have to understand, you've had techs out here. We've already discussed it's not on my end. It's on server end. It's a fluctuation between the speeds. Or the data that's being, it's just like, it's just a maintenance issue. It's like, seriously, why? I mean, I'm a streamer. Like, there's people, people watching me stream. And I'm having fluctuation problems in the morning. During non-peak times. And this is very, very frustrating. Like, okay, imagine me coming into your work while you're in the middle of a call with a customer and unplugging you. Would that affect your job? One second.
I will crush you underfoot! Savages.
Oh my God. Sir, sir. My hardware's been checked 2-3 times. Okay? Once again, you're not listening to me. I'm not getting a DC. You understand that, yes or no?
Enough!
Okay, what's my problem then? Technically speaking. I want you to be able to understand what I'm saying. So I know that I'm getting these results. What's going on? I understand what you see on your end. What I'm asking you is, do you know what's occurring?
There is nowhere to run! Enough!
Okay. Okay. Because can I say something? And it's no offense to you, because you're doing your job. You're going through protocol, and I get that. I really do, right? But there are technical applications when it comes to IP. You know, how the IP response data, right? And when you keep sending people out and making them believe, like, I'm a nerd, okay? I am like a huge nerd. Okay, it's unfortunate, but it's true. And like, for example, you would tell somebody, "Have you tried to disconnect and reconnect your modem? Are you hooked up to any routers?" And does all of this sound familiar? Okay, because it's your protocol. And you know who tells customers that? And you know what customers listen to that? People who don't know what the fuck is going on with hardware. Okay, that's who usually says those generic lines and what they try to. And sometimes it is something that simple. And I agree with that. Sometimes it's something very simplistic. But majority of the times it's not. So what I want to do is just try to figure out and try to get somebody to save the hassle. Sir, are you aware that companies in this area are unable to produce bill their customers at times due to your service? Are you aware of that? Because it's an intermittent drop and their systems have to get reset. Are you aware of that, sir? I know you're limited. That's why I've asked this to be escalated. Okay. Here's my deal. I don't care if you bring out a technician, but you don't bring out a technician for him to say there's nothing here, and then you don't resolve it. Because that's what's happened the last 2 or 3 times. And I'm saying it's nothing big. It's a maintenance issue. And somebody just isn't doing their fucking job. And that's frustrating for me. That somebody's getting paid $60,000 goddamn dollars a year, not doing, flipping a fucking button. or not flipping, but at least pushing buttons, sequence of buttons to get it to maintenance. So fluctuations don't. Your hardware is fine. My speeds are fine. Okay? There's nothing wrong with the, the quality of service. It's the consistency of service. Okay? And I know I seem harsh. It's just my personality. I'm a type of man who likes to get results. And I don't like to hear excuses. Because at the end of the day, guess what they are? They're fucking excuses. Now, if you had real competition on the level of your speed connections, which you don't in this area at least, but if you did, God help you. Because then you'd have major problems. And if I was, like, say, in a position, I would say, I don't want to lose money to my competitor. So we need to fix this shit. Would you agree? It's working, it's just not consistent. I have no complaints about the quality of service. You guys are beyond exceptional. I just don't I'm a streamer. I don't want to drop a signal during the middle of my stream. Do we understand that? There is so much involved in tech that you guys have to understand. There's already people who rely on ISP to do their jobs. And if there's a drop in signal, that affects their money. That affects their livelihood now, right? That's unacceptable. Sending out attack, right? Real scenario or the real problem, you guys are going to be owing me money a lot. Because I am sick, and I mean sick, of people coming out here in the text saying the same damn thing. It's nothing here. There's nothing wrong here. Well, duh. I told that to them. And guess what gets done, sir? Guess what gets resolved? Can you guess? Well, you think that would be great. I agree. I concur with that assessment. Yeah. Right? Right. No, you're doing good. Continue. Yeah. Well, sir, if you wanted to do yourselves a favor too, you could also check the surrounding other locations while you're at it, because I can name off like 7 different businesses that this happens to on a frequency with their ATM machines because they run your ISP, the same ISP. So this isn't an isolated incident, sir. So I really want you to grasp that that this isn't isolated. Okay. Right. Right. That sounds great to me. That sounds actually good. You know, that sounds great. Okay. Now, what's this tech going to be able to do if there is no problem? I'm just speaking on a hypothetical situation. You pique my interest. What will occur if the tech can't find anything locally? The line, the outside line, the inside line, and the hardware. Okay. Oh, so it wouldn't. The maintenance team wouldn't check it until the technician can verify that it's not an isolated incident. Correct? Oh, I'm aware. Trust you and me, sir. So, I'm just reconfirming for my audience and for everybody who might be Spectrum, I don't know, customers. You know, what's the protocol and how we resolve these type of issues in 2019. Oh, yeah, sure. Okay, there we go. Just like I said, reconfirm. I would put on the notes, and I would make sure. Now, this is just a recommendation. You know, on your end for your protection, I would make sure you note to the technician if there is not a problem within the hardware or the line, that it gets noted by the technician and reported to escalate on on the server status or maintenance, just so it protects you guys from any liability on your end, stating that you did your job, the tech did his job, and these things don't come back to bite any of you guys in the butt, so people aren't pointing a finger. Because you shouldn't have to get in trouble for something that you did, and the tech shouldn't have to get in trouble for something he did. You know? I mean, that's not your job. You know? You can send it to the text. I'm more than comfortable with any of that type of confirmation. That's fine with me. Now, and once again, I want to apologize. I mean, I know these things aren't your fault, but you have to understand a consumer or customer's, frustration when, and especially coming from a person like me, when they try to get resolution, and you guys have the same protocol that leads, guess where? Nowhere. It's not actually resolving the issue. Do you see what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to say, sir, is that there is somebody who's paid to do this. Not your job, is paid to maintenance the servers. Who's paid to, babysit the system and look for any anomalies that could be occurring. Somebody's getting paid to do that, sir. So that's their job. It's not your job. It's not the tech's job. It's not that's his job. And when you see, these fluctuations occur or anomalies happen that are inconsistent with the performance, well, that means that somebody's missing something somewhere. Typically. Would you, if you're a business owner, would you like to pay somebody $60,000 a year to babysit a computer and there's something going wrong and he doesn't know that it is? Would you like to pay somebody just sitting there doing nothing? Oh, you wouldn't? Okay.
Darkness shall consume light. Your light shall burn no more.
Know your place.
I'm aware.
Damn this frail flesh.
That would be great. No, sir, you do not owe me an apology. It's I who owe you the apology because, like I said, I know it comes off a certain way. You're doing your job, and you and your associate were perfect. But once again, we just need to come to a way to be able to resolve the problem without the protocol actually hindering that from occurring.
Chaos shall reign forevermore.
That is great. Oh, sounds good. And you have a good day, sir. Do I need to hang up, or are you good, or? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I know I'm an asshole. I told everybody. I warn everybody on this. But I'm a type of person. I get results. How are you this immature? Dude. You don't even understand. I used to work for a company overseeing these type of things. You have no fucking idea. I am a dick and a dick. Immature? No. A person who gets results? Yeah. Talk to my owners. They would be like, he's a dick, but he's worth every penny. And I apologize. If I was so immature, why did I apologize? I apologize to him. I treated him with a very direct, courteous, and of course, once again, I have to stress my frustration. I have to, give my frustration out there, but at the same time demand the results that need to be implemented. How these results need to occur, Mark. And if you understood business and you understood the implication behind any technical aspect, you would understand the protocol sometimes doesn't alleviate the problem. Okay? It doesn't have a resolution. And I'm the type of person, I get results in life. It might not be what everybody's standard is. And I don't persecute anybody specifically until I can find that goddamn person. Now, that person might have a legit reason. It might not even be their fault. We find out. We find out. Okay? That's what we do. Okay, so at the end of the day, what do? We get results. And to get results, you have to be direct. You're not a nice guy. In the business world, it's not a nice guy. You should really meet my brother. The man is a six-figure paid asshole, and I love him. I love him to death. All it's about, Mark, is results. Nothing else matters. Nothing fucking else matters. And notice that I did compliment the company. I did. I said, hey, there's not a problem with the service. It's the consistency. Sometimes you have to just do it. No, stop! We're just gonna get us killed. No, I turned into mini-me. Can't afford to get hit with that while I'm shrunk. You're a man child? Yeah, sure, Mark. Keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that there, brother. I used to do all this professionally, so it doesn't even matter what the fuck you think, dude. Doesn't. I've met some of the craziest people in the world. Like bigger people than you or I could ever imagine. And I'll tell you what, dude, at the end of the day, your opinion means jack shit. My opinion means jack shit. The only thing that matters is results. Okay? So get it straight. Get it straight, dude. Okay? Results. That's all that matters. It's the only thing that goddamn matters. And people can hate you for it. It's like, I hate you. You're an asshole. Hey, I even said, it wasn't his fault. It's not his fault. It's not his problem. You know? And that's the truth. It's like, I can't stress that enough. Right? I can't. Like, he's doing what he has to do. What he's told to do. Right or wrong. We can all agree on that. That this was not going to be the initial responders or, you know, customer service rep, you know, problem. They have a very, very hard job. They're taking on call volumes to try to resolve the problems when they actually have no direct influence on resolution. They're there to take the punches. So it's pointless to talk to these individuals who are only going to do what? The same thing he did. Arrange a service call with no immediate resolution or or not even immediate or even long-term resolution. Right or wrong? So you can sit there and say I'm a man-child, but you think about these things internally, structurally, and how everything works within the dynamics of the business and how the business functions, even as a service provider. You have to understand that. You have to be able to dissect it in that incident. That's what, you know, gives these businesses a difference. Okay? And it reflects, you know, how protocol is established. One second. Okay. Anywho. So, once again, I'm just re-implementing, I'm just reconfirming all this. See, like, I stream in the afternoons. I never have this problem. Never. I stream in the mornings. There's always a, like, less than a 10-second, like, intermittent problem with the IP or the packets. It's like, okay, there's nothing being, like, the connection is stable, right? There's no drop in the signal, right? There's a fluctuation of the IP's connectivity. So it's like, you know, the connection's there. I should say it in this way. The connection's established. It's solid. There's no variation. The speed or some of the packets, all of a sudden there's a variable that's occurring within the node structure, and then all of a sudden you get a small intermittent drop. Very, very subtle. For most people, they wouldn't even notice a 1.2 point something second. But when it completely drops the IP, right, you lose a connection for a split second. But it's enough sometimes to cause a terrible cascade of problems, and especially in service machinery. So basically, like debit systems, credit systems, all that software is configured to IP, right? So if something was to drop during a transaction, it just freezes the entire system. So basically, it's not, the transaction doesn't go through, it just completely freezes it, and all of a sudden you have a problem now. And that's what I'm trying to stipulate here. The problem is beyond me. It's a serious problem that has to be done. It has to be maintenance. It has to be babysitted. My stepdad was one of these programmers who literally babysitted giant computers for a telephone company, and basically was a server technician, if you would. So basically, if he would look at the code and the connectivity all day long, there was like 4 or 5 people who did this position, and literally they would have to watch the screen all day, implement any type of new updates and software, put in the everything was back then also in binary back in the day. Did upgrade and get updated, but it was the old real servers, So the evolution of communication has evolved, as far as like what devices we use and how all those devices transmit the appropriate technology to be able to communicate. But regardless, you have to take a look at what causes these fluctuations. Is it isolated? Is it not isolated? If it's isolated, that's one thing. When you have an isolated situation, you can, make those determinations. If it's within the outside line, internal line, hardware, the internal hardware, like the receivers. So that's pretty much an easy diagnostic, how to resolve isolated situations. But if the situation isn't isolated, and we're taking a look at server-wide implications, now we got to we really have to dissect things. We have to get in there. We got to get our hands dirty. We actually have to take a look at speed variations, data variations, connectivity variations, all sorts of stuff. Reallocation of, there's like so many different things that go on in this type of field. So it's like, it's not so easy then. It really isn't. So, and people get paid to do that. That's their fucking jobs. That's their jobs. I'm sorry. It's their job. But when you set up a system that keeps putting out technicians and saying, oh, guess what? We're going to throw out a tech out your way. And they've been here, I don't know how many times, and there's no incident, then what are you going to do to resolve it? How are you trying to resolve this? Are you trying to resolve these situations? Because that's the problem. People don't wait until people wait till the last minute, till the shit hits the fan, before they even realize they should have fixed the problem to begin with. It's basically like you need an oil change, and you decide to wait 30,000 miles, and until your your rods start knocking before you realize, oh, maybe I should have changed my fucking oil. You know? I don't know. There's reasons that you maintenance this shit. There's no difference to it. You check the problem when you know there is a problem initially. That's not hard. That's not a hard thing to do. If you know there's a problem, you nip it in the ass before it becomes what? A bigger problem. That's how ZeniMax got where the fuck it's at right now. And why it's got so many little fucking issues. You keep putting it off. You don't fucking do that. You nip it in the ass. You isolate it, you find it, you resolve it. You don't let things escalate. You nip it in the butt. Especially when you know where it's at. One of the biggest problems is finding it. That's the biggest hurdle. Finding it. Once you've isolated it and you have the determined problem where the root lies, you fix the problem. Okay? It's the common sense. It's just the way it works. But if there is no problem, what's the old saying? Don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's broke and it's going to get worse, if it's cracked, I won't even go broke. If it's a crack, we fix it or we replace it. Because nothing worse than trying to pour hot fluids in a cracked cup that may or may not hold what you're going to drink. So, oh my God, I'm an asshole. I mean, I've warned people about that. I'm like, I'm an asshole. One time I was paid to be an asshole. Believe it. Why? Because you need people like me in the world. It sucks. I'm not happy about it. But you need people like me in the world. You know, you think about it, a lot of companies, man, they'll try to get around some shit. They will. They'll be like, "Oh, we're not going to, take a look at that." It's like, once again, I was watching this person's video. I used to watch a lot of business shit. And I wasn't too long ago. And they were talking about the competitive market in a micro economic structure versus the macro, or the worldwide influence on competitive market, right? And what it really means between the monopoly of any given industry. How people are able to, and also, rights. It was interesting because someone's like, okay, I am let's hypothetically say I'm a cell phone creator. You're a cell phone creator. We have similar features within our products that aren't, it's not, these are pretty standard features. But all of a sudden, I have a feature that I have a patent on. I hold the patent on a feature that your phone doesn't have, right? Now, it becomes about consumer preference. You can't implement this feature. Why? Because you don't have the patent to it. You can't do it. And I'm taking your business. So I have a monopoly on a what? On a feature. I monopolize something. And it gets even further. There's a lot of even, philosophical debates about, copyrights and infringements. And there's, a lot of detail. I don't get into the political aspect. But I do feel like it has a relevance to competitive market. And it does. It really does. And these are the things that I'm interested in. Right? These are the things that I find fascinating. It's like, that's kind of like the things that I get into. But yeah, hey, the other day you asked how do I run a company? Well, stick around, boys and girls. First thing is it's just about one thing. At the end of the day, it's all about sales. Then what? Service. Sales and service. Are you in service or not? If you sell a product, do you have to maintain the customer? Do you have to maintenance anything? Is there something there that has to be continued to, retain? Sometimes when we're talking about sales, sales are direct, A lot of times, though, we have services these days. I'll give you admonish. One healer's frozen. Rest. They're nice with each other. The healers are like, what the hell is hitting us? No, you're supposed to like break that or stay apart from each other. Okay. Alright. Player. Whatever. No more comments, Mark! So, Mark, why did I call the ISP now? Do you remember? Because of fluctuations. I pay a damn good price, and I mean a really good price, on connectivity. Alright? I don't have the base level ISP. Right? I don't. Because I'm a streamer. Right? I stream games. I can't afford a base level on anything. So I have a very, 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 very up. The only way I can get faster if I go commercial. Okay? It's the only way I go faster. From where I'm at. Where I'm located. And the thing about it is, when you pay that, you expect a quality of service. You expect it. You anticipate it. You expect a quality of service. And if it was an isolated incident, Mark, which, like I said, if you would have paid attention, you would have realized if it was an isolated incident that I probably would have just gone around like, hey, not being so direct. But knowing that the surrounding companies and businesses are experiencing these problems due to the same incident, and I know that, it's like, okay, something's got to get done. Okay? Because it's not just affecting me anymore. And when I see the fluctuation, and I see that fluctuation from my service, it really irks me knowing that companies and businesses locally are also impacted. And their quality of services that they offer their customers is affected. Because there is no competition as far as available speeds locally. We have other ISP providers, but not with that quality of service or the quality. And that's what I re-implemented to the associate. The quality of service is not in question. The consistency of services. And that's an accurate description. Okay? So, once again, I choose my words wisely. I really make sure that I communicate with clarity. Because nothing can get resolved without specification. Okay? We have to be very, very clear on what is occurring and what needs to happen to have resolution. Okay? It's the only way things get done in the world. Think about that from 100 years ago when people were just coming up with some of the technology. They had to find a way to communicate what they were trying to accomplish. And by doing so, see, I told you it was going to be enough. I didn't know. I know. But I told you. See, Daddy knows his shit. So, anyways, yeah, there you go. There you have it, Mark. I wish you the best, but if you were even a person with half my intelligence, half of it, you would understand everything that I did and the way I did it was, in a way, another form of protocol. Right? It's like chess. You know, you move a pawn, I move a pawn. You know? Or I might not move a pawn. So you move a pawn, I move a knight. You know? At the end of the day, it's just like, but things happen in sequence. You have to take your turn before I can take my turn. Right? It's just the way the game's played. We all have to take a turn. But at the end of the day, whoever is a person who can strategically place their pieces in a way, they're going to, you know, get the other person, they're going to remove the other person, the obstacles. So I should say it like that. Because it's not about winning or losing at the end of the day. It's about removing the obstacles to get to the objective. Okay? So, and to get to the objective, you have to remove the obstacles. Okay? And that takes strategy. That takes proper planning and execution. All right? So I hope that helps. You want to know how to run companies? You want to know how to run businesses? Well, you know, the funny thing about it is you have to understand the basic elements of your business and what you're trying to accomplish. And then you have to understand every other element that's going into the business to make it functional. And if you want to be, and here's my advice. If you want to run a company, ever don't anticipate having friends. Okay? Because everybody, for some god fucking sakes, hates your guts. Your employees hate your guts. Your friends hate your guts. Everybody hates your guts. And at the end of the day, you're perfectly fine with it. If you're a person who can actually have that mentality, be like, you know, I don't give a shit. I'm just trying to make sure that things keep running. Then you'll be great. You'll do great things. Right? But everybody will look at you from their perspective because they can't see it from yours. They're incapable of seeing it from your perspective. They're completely fucking incapable. You will always be the bad guy, and that's fine. Be the bad guy. Embrace it wholeheartedly. It doesn't absolve you from anything, though, so I will stipulate that too. If something goes down, it's always going to be your head on the chopping block. Okay? So there you have it. You will be the first to be persecuted at all times. All right? There you have it. I hope I gave you some insight on that. All right. There you have it. Good. We're good. Once again, I'm Mr. Craven. This is Mystics MMOs. Have a nice day.